MG Motor India is set to revive the micro-mobility segment in India's passenger vehicle market with its latest entrant, the Comet EV. We have with us Mr. Rajeev Chaba, the President and MD of MG Motor India, to tell us more about the company's plans and strategies with this new car. Rajeev, thank you so much for joining us and speaking with us.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
First of all, your thoughts about the product market fit of the Comet EV and who is going to be the target audience?
So as you can see, it's a pretty unique solution to many issues what we have in our country, in our big cities, and actually it's a global issue, not only in India, but we are facing multitude of issues like parking issues, pollution issues, congestion issues, cost of ownership issues because the petrol and the gas prices are going up. So this particular car offers very pragmatic and practical solutions to most of these issues. So we feel initially the youngsters and millennials, Gen Z are going to like this kind of a car because it's not only the compactness and the cost of ownership and the design issue, but also the connectivity. We have given lots of connected features, internet inside, which is our favorite thing inside the car, and you can customize the screens. There are two big screens. You can move the widgets. It's like your phone inside, So youngsters probably are going to love it, in our opinion. But this car has the capability to grow on you, and this car probably can surprise all of us, and more and more segments may be interested, because in the last few days itself we have realized and seen interest from all kinds of segments, right from the couples, young mothers, to some retirees and golfers. So I think this is really surprising us. So initial positioning obviously is going to be targeted towards youngsters, but I think this car can meet lots of needs of various segments.
So in terms of the market opportunity, what sort of volumes are you going to be eyeing with the Comet?
When in terms of our readiness, production capability, as well as vendors capability, we had given all of them a target of around 3,000 cars a month. It would not happen tomorrow. It may take few months time to ramp up the volumes and things like that, but that's the kind of a volume we had given to vendors, and our plant cannot produce more than 3,000 cars a month.
So in terms of the production capacity, I think MG, you are sort of a little restricted in terms of the limited resources that you have at Halol in your plant. So what sort of volumes are you targeting overall for the company?
So our plant, I think our team did a good job in the last 1.5 years, and we have invested a lot to enhance the capacity of our plant. When we bought this plant, it was 60-odd thousand per year. Now we have taken it to 120,000 per year on 3-shift basis. As we speak, already we have 2 shifts, and we are getting ready for the 3rd shift. This car has a specific press line and general assembly line. But as I told you, the capacity, we have to see the overall capacity and specific shops capacity for this car. So we made this business case for maximum 3,000 cars a month. Let's see how does it go.
Okay. And in terms of the localization content of this car, so where do you stand right now at the launch, and is there plan to also grow that going forward?
Oh yes, that's very, very important for this car, because at the end of the day, seeing the size of this car and seeing the kind of segment we are targeting, the price, in any case is in general very important in our country, but for this segment I think it's very important. So in considering that, we needed to do a lot of localization. So I'm happy to say that at the time of launch, which is now, it's 50% plus, 53, 54 to be precise. By the end of this year, it should be around 60% plus. So battery we have localized. It's procured locally. So a lot of stuff on that, on those lines we have done. So
right. And with the ZS EV that you have as a flagship product, that's also an electric vehicle. So now with the Comet joining the ZS in your portfolio, so where do you see MG's overall EV sales in the coming years?
So like you all know that we were one of the first ones to get into this EV business. Just imagine in 2018 we planned for ZS EV to be launched in 2020, and that point of time there was hardly any, there was nothing. I think there was nobody in the EV segment, in the passenger car segment. There was one player only in the on the commercial side. So we have been a proponent right from the day one. This year we feel 30% of our sales should be EV.
Right. And in terms of, when you talk about the ground realities, with such sort of volume targets, you're looking at 3,000 cars a month. So this car is going to be, accepted by many more people. So there are chances of more accidents and, more cases of maybe battery replacement and, repairs with the batteries. So in terms of the general skill set in this particular area, are you doing anything to sort of improve that with your dealer network?
So actually, that's a very interesting point. I'm sure you would be aware of the fact that from last 3 or 4 years we have been targeting this issue in a very, very organized, institutionalized ways. We have a program called MG Nurture. We have tied up with almost 33 colleges so far, where it's ITIs, it's diplomas and engineering colleges, where we are giving EV curriculum. We are training the trainers. We are also getting the students from them as interns. We are giving them the jobs, projects. So it's a 360-degree kind of a program with them. Also with our dealers, the same thing we are doing it with the Automotive Skill Development Institute. We have done this kind of a program. So we are deep into this whole nurturing program called MG Nurture with the students, with mechanics, with dealer body and our own employees. You're right, this is a new area. Somebody has to do heavy lifting initially. We are not a big player, very small player, still less than 2% market share, but I think some heavy lifting we have done on our own, and not only on this part, also on the charging side, that like we announced that 1,000 chargers we are going to put in 1,000 days. We have already done 300 in residential. We have tied up with BPGO, Bharat Petroleum, Tata Powers to put fast chargers also in many locations for their EV. So I think considering our size, I think the team has done good strategic partnership, and we have gone deep into this whole skilling and reskilling.
Right. You mentioned that you're still a small player in India's burgeoning PV market, and you also mentioned that in March this year is sort of cash broken, and since you entered the Indian market. Yeah. So going forward, a business question, going forward, your plans on getting further infusion of capital in India, and what are your plans there, and are you also looking at how long can you be sustaining on loans? Are you also going to look at more capital infusion?
So I think step at a time. Only a few years back we talked about MG's establishment in India as a brand. Just a few years back we were talking about how would it be, and to be honest, there were a lot of naysayers about MG brand. How would you do it? I'm happy to say that we have reached a level of 6,000 a month now. Our this stage priority is to break even and start making money. Typically in auto industry, as you know, companies take 6-7 years to break even because they're very capital intensive and upfront project upfront cost kind of a industry. So I'm happy that right now we all are getting focused on breaking even and making money this year. Also, once we have 120,000 full capacity utilized, hopefully next year, we should be quite profitable. And then comes the question of what next. Yeah. So we are going step at a time. I can tell you that my job is to focus on that long term too, while making sure that short term is okay. So we are working with various agencies and institutions, and hopefully very soon we should be able to announce something.
Okay, because there are rumors in the market that Indian company JSW is sort of engaged with MG Motor India for sort of an acquisition. So I mean, are those two? Can you?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that from where you have heard. But yes, there are a lot of, since last 1 year, which is not surprise to anyone. I think we said it openly that since last 1 year or so, we have been talking to various institutions, partners, possible partners. In the meantime, we are, like I said, we are okay on our own through ECBs. Like, it's not really a loan from a third party. It's ECB. ECB is an internal loan from the company in dollar terms. So through ECBs and working capital loan, we have managed it pretty well. Also, like you also said that March we have cash broken even. Hopefully third and fourth quarter we should make money if our sales continue this way, and the Comet also adds to that. So we are pretty okay with our situation right now. We are not in any desperate move, hurry or emergency for the second plant right now. I think our focus has to be that sell 120,000 cars in the plant and be profitable. Because you may like to ask a question, how many guys are able to do that in India, by the way? Right. Even that, So I think this will be a good achievement by the team if we do it. But yes, all the other options, as you mentioned, we are exploring. So let's see how does it go.
In terms of product portfolio, so what next going forward? You have like sort of a 4 or 5
It's the fifth
car
one,
lineup.
right? It's the fifth one.
Right.
So it's the fifth one. We are, one of the jobs of product planning and long-term planning guys is to talk about the second plant and portfolio and the trends and everything. So they are on their job. It's too early for me to spill beans on that or talk about that. But I can tell you one thing, there is no shortage of products on the EV side as well as on the ICE engine side. We need to just fix our profitability issue at this point of time and the second plant issue. Product portfolio wise, we do not have any challenge.
Right. In terms of the overall.
You saw some of that in the Auto Expo, by the way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So then going forward, are you sort of eyeing, is that your ambition to grow the EV penetration even further, 30% you're targeting just with the rollout of the Comet?
So yes, I think that's the inevitable trend globally and in India. And we have all the products in our arsenal. I'm happy to say, and some of you I'm sure know it better than others, that we have a huge new energy portfolio, which is EV as well as PHEVs. If the government changes the policy and they start encouraging PHEVs, we would be ready, I guess. And then ICE engines, and within ICE also petrol and diesel engine. We have a portfolio like the Gloster, you saw a diesel engine. We have MPVs with diesel engines. We don't want to bring them, by the way. That's not the intention. But in terms of portfolio, footprint-wise, the products are there. So again, our long-term perspective would be to get the footprint for the second plant in place. Portfolio is in shape, and that will get into automatically into that group. So we are not really bothered about the portfolio at this point of time.
Right. Final question, Rajeev. So your outlook as an industry, for this financial year, and what are the headwinds and tailwinds that you're seeing the industry is facing right now?
So, last year, as you know, we did pretty well. Typically, we talk about calendar year, but even financial year wise also, it was very well. So, calendar year, we had a growth of 25% plus north of that and ended up almost 4 million units. This year, I think it will follow the typical GDP growth now, because this is kind of a peak in terms of volumes. So, I think 6 to 7%, 8% growth, which is the GDP growth expected. I think it will follow that. Yes, some uncertainties are becoming part of life. The whole geopolitical situation, the war situation, the oil prices, possible recession issues still in Europe and America. So those issues are still there. In India, the finance rates are becoming very high. And the rural economy is picking up, but depends on monsoon and things like that. So, but I guess some issues are always there in the economy. Right, our fundamentals of the economy are pretty strong. I think we are bullish on the whole Indian scenario. So, automotive industry should follow the GDP growth this year. So, 6 to 7% growth should happen, hopefully.
Right. On that note, wish you all the best with the Comet, and thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.